Jean Harlow, Hollywood's original blonde bombshell, rose from a troubled childhood to become one of the biggest stars of the 1930s. But behind the glamour lived a story of pressure, heartbreak, and a mysterious illness that ended her life at just 26. This is her haunting, unforgettable journey. The birth of a Hollywood legend, Jean Harlow was born Harley Ann Harlow Carpenter on March 3, 1911, in Kansas City, Missouri. Her childhood was shaped by her mother, Jean Bello, who dreamed of becoming an actress but never succeeded. After her parents separated, young Harley Ann moved with her mother to Los Angeles in 1923, where Hollywood's growing film industry surrounded them. She never planned on acting. But fate intervened when she was noticed while accompanying a friend to a studio. Her striking beauty and natural screen presence quickly drew attention, setting her on the path to becoming one of early Hollywood's most iconic stars. A star is discovered. Jean Harlow's discovery was almost accidental. In 1928, she drove a friend to the Fox Studios lot, where a casting director noticed her striking platinum blonde look and asked her to test for roles. Although she had no acting ambitions, she began taking small, uncredited parts in silent films. Her breakthrough came when producer Hal Roach cast her in comedy shorts, and soon after, Howard Hughes selected her for Hell's Angels, 1930. The film's success turned her into a sensation overnight. Audiences were captivated by her voice, presence, and allure, marking the true beginning of her Hollywood stardom. The making of the Blonde Bombshell. Jean Harlow's transformation into the Blonde Bombshell began after signing with MGM in 1932, where the studio reshaped her image. Her naturally ash blonde hair was dyed to an extremely pale platinum shade, a look that became her trademark and sparked a nationwide hair color trend. MGM refined her wardrobe, style, and screen persona, giving her roles that highlighted her sharp wit and bold sensuality. Films like Red-Headed Woman, 1932, and Red Dust, 1932, cemented her status as Hollywood's newest sensation. With her charisma and unique screen presence, Jean Harlow became the defining blonde icon of early 1930s cinema. Behind the glamour, hidden struggles behind Jean Harlow's glamorous image. Her life was filled with emotional and personal hardships. She endured a controlling relationship with her mother, who managed nearly every aspect of her career and finances. Harlow also faced intense pressure from MGM, which demanded constant perfection on and off screen. Her marriages brought little comfort. Her first marriage ended quickly, and her second husband, producer Paul Bern, died in 1932 under mysterious circumstances, causing a media storm that deeply affected her. Despite her radiant smile and comedic charm, Jean silently battled stress, exhaustion, and the weight of fame that often overshadowed her true self. A toxic marriage begins. Jean Harlow married Paul Bern, an MGM producer, in July 1932. The studio promoted their union as a perfect Hollywood romance, but privately, the marriage was deeply troubled. Bern was significantly older, emotionally distant, and reportedly struggling with personal issues that created tension at home. Harlow, already under immense pressure from MGM, found no stability in the relationship. Just 2 months after the wedding, Bern was found dead in their home, and the mysterious circumstances surrounding his death triggered a massive scandal. The studio rushed to protect Harlow's image, but the trauma left a lasting impact on her life and career. Scandals that shook her image. Jean Harlow's rising fame was repeatedly shadowed by scandals that the press eagerly magnified. The mysterious death of her husband, Paul Bern, in 1932, created a media frenzy, with rumors questioning her marriage, her innocence, and her private life. Soon after, Harlow faced another controversy when her mother's husband, Marino Bello, was accused of exploiting her financially. The tabloids also targeted her bold screen persona, often blurring the line between the characters she played and her real life. Although MGM worked tirelessly to control the narrative, these scandals threatened her carefully crafted image and added emotional strain behind the scenes. The studio's iron grip. Under MGM, Jean Harlow lived a life controlled by the studio's strict system. Every detail, her roles, public appearances, interviews, hairstyles, even friendships, was carefully managed to maintain her marketable image. MGM demanded long work hours, often pushing her into back-to-back films with little rest. When scandals or personal tragedies struck, the studio hid the truth, issued scripted statements, and shaped the press narrative to protect profits. Harlow had little freedom over her career or personal choices, and the constant pressure to remain flawless took a toll on her health and emotions. Behind her stardom, MGM's control ruled everything. A career at its peak. By the mid-1930s, Jean Harlow had become Hollywood's brightest star. Films like Bombshell, 1933, Dinner at 8, 1933, and Hold Your Man, 1933, showcased her comedic timing, charm, and sensual screen presence. Audiences adored her, and her platinum blonde look became iconic, inspiring fashion and beauty trends nationwide. Studios capitalized on her popularity, making her one of MGM's most bankable stars. Despite the relentless work schedule, Harlow's talent and charisma shone through, earning critical acclaim and immense fan adoration. At this peak, she was not just a movie star, she was a cultural phenomenon, symbolizing the allure and glamour of old Hollywood. The mysterious decline in health. By 1936, Jean Harlow's health began to decline unexpectedly. She experienced severe fatigue, loss of appetite, and flu-like symptoms that worried friends and colleagues. Despite these warning signs, she continued working long hours on film sets, rarely allowing herself rest. Doctors struggled to identify the cause as symptoms worsened rapidly. It was later revealed that Harlow suffered from kidney failure, a condition that was poorly understood and difficult to treat at the time. Her relentless work schedule, combined with stress and the lack of proper medical care, contributed to the rapid deterioration of her once vibrant health. The final days of Jean Harlow. In June 1937, Jean Harlow's condition worsened dramatically. Hospitalized for kidney failure, she battled pain, swelling, and extreme weakness. Yet she remained conscious of her public image, refusing to let fans see her suffering. Doctors administered the best care available at the time, but her body continued to fail. On June 7, 1937, at just 26 years old, Jean Harlow passed away in Los Angeles, shocking Hollywood and her millions of fans worldwide. Her sudden death marked the tragic end of a luminous career and left a void in the film industry that has never truly been filled. Hollywood's shock and silence. Jean Harlow's death sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Studios, press, and fans struggled to comprehend the loss of a star so young and vibrant. MGM tightly controlled the narrative, managing media coverage to preserve her legacy and protect ongoing projects. Colleagues and co-stars mourned privately, often in silence, as public expressions of grief were limited by studio policies. Rumors and speculations spread, but official statements emphasized her talent. The impact of her tragic death. Jean Harlow's untimely death at 26 left a profound mark on Hollywood and popular culture. Studios became more aware of the pressures placed on young stars. Though systemic change was slow, fans mourned worldwide, with public memorials and tributes honoring her life and work. Her final films were released posthumously, cementing her status as an enduring icon. Harlow's death also sparked conversations about the hidden struggles behind glamour, influencing how future generations viewed the personal costs of fame. Even decades later, she remains a symbol of both the allure and the heartbreak of old Hollywood stardom. Jean Harlow's eternal legacy. Decades after her death, Jean Harlow remains one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. Her platinum blonde image, magnetic screen presence, and comedic talent influenced generations of actresses and set a standard for glamour in cinema. Harlow's life and career are studied as examples of both Hollywood brilliance and the hidden personal costs of fame. She inspired fashion, hairstyles, and the archetype of the blonde bombshell in film. Museums, retrospectives, and film scholars continue to celebrate her contributions. Though her life was tragically short, Jean Harlow's legend endures, reminding the world of a star who shone brighter than many and left a lasting cinematic imprint. Jean Harlow's life was brief but unforgettable. From rising stardom to personal struggles and a tragic death, she embodied both the glamour and the hidden hardships of old Hollywood. Her legacy continues to inspire actors, filmmakers, and fans, ensuring that the blonde bombshell's light never fades from cinematic history.